that I'd got a chance of playing for England. I was one of the best 2 wicketkeepers. Alan Knott was the #1, and he was very difficult to get out of the side because he was an all-rounder. He was a good batter and terrific wicketkeeper.
Footage shot around the world highlights the differences in wicket-keeping from country to country, but also concentrates on the common required skills. Our interviewees share with the audience their personal styles and techniques, and the need to pass on the art to future wicket-keepers.
I used to go like that before every ball, and I couldn't stop doing it, but I've tried to keep it wide as I can. Boom, so they're already open. I think what makes a good wicket-keeper stand out, from the rest of the crew really, is a guy that doesn't make many mistakes whatsoever. Catches 99% of the balls that are put on a plate for him. Really catches it without any fuss or any to do, and just does his job properly. Really. Oh mate, that's brilliant. That's a great take.
And I guess all young keepers struggle standing up because they don't get much of an opportunity to do it, or certainly in the New Zealand game you didn't. And the key thing I learned in terms of my expectation on myself was that I wasn't going to become a truly test quality or a great keeper at the stumps until I actually spent a lot of time at the stumps.
Throw your head across the ball, which makes it easier to judge. As soon as your eyes cross the ball, you'll pick up speed and you'll pick up depth, and it'll be a lot easier to catch. Keep moving your head through the line of the ball, right? Try and always move your head and your eyes into the line of the ball. That's it.
Wicket keeping obviously is a very unique position, and so it's difficult for some coaches because obviously there's a lot in the textbooks about batting and bowling. But I used to watch Ian Healy on TV and then go in the backyard and try to copy him. So I think a little bit of my technique has developed looking at his game. Left foot outside there in that nice crouched position. The weight's on the balls of my feet. Okay, and I'm just leaning forward a little bit with my hands open.
When I missed stumpings, right, I never ever missed a stumping under there. Whenever I missed him, it was here because I wasn't up enough. So once he starts to go, don't be afraid to come up. Like they say, you should stay down and come up with the ball. Too hard, mate. Can't be done.
I was always taught to, get my head into line, get my body behind the ball, which is all well and good, except if your body's behind the ball, then you can't catch it, can you? Particularly in test matches where 90% of the deliveries that pass the stumps standing up are above the stumps and head high, which is quite a tricky area to keep wicket in, right? So I needed a new technique to deal with those new demands, if you like.
If you get into the habit of taking the ball, then you can look where the ball's gone. It's just a one little movement, as if just imagine the ball's come through to you. I'll take in. I've always believed that the second most important member of any team is the wicketkeeper, next to the captain, because the wicketkeeper inspires the rest of the fielders. And I tell schoolboys, you get a bad throw in, try and make a bad throw in into a good throw, and try and take every chance that comes to you. And it takes a lot of hard work and concentration. But if you're missing catches, dropping the ball, that radiates around the rest of the field. The shoulders go down, the heads go down, and there's nothing worse, particularly for a bowler, and particularly in a hot climate, when he's striving to get a nick, the batsman to nick it, and then he sees a poor show by the wicketkeeper, or the fielders for that matter. But the wicketkeepers get more opportunities, more chances, so it's highlighted more, and that's what wicketkeeping is all about.
The pace of the contemporary game has created a new breed of wicketkeeper, players who are already adapting to the need for all-rounders and setting new standards for the game.
Sangakkara, a real flowing batsman who's a pleasure to watch, and people pay good money to go and watch him and be entertained by him. His wicket-keeping is outstanding. Keeping wicket to Matteo Muralitharan, the best off-spinner that probably the game's ever seen, and he does it admirably. Gilchrist, I think, is one of the best wicket-keeper batsmen of all time. He had big shoes to fill coming in for Ian Healy, who was my favourite wicket-keeper of all time, and I hold with a very, very high esteem.
Excellent keepers, but also, probably would be in the Test team just on their batting alone as well. So, you know, they really are true all-rounders, and I think, you know, obviously Sri Lanka and Australia are fortunate to have players of that calibre.
Despite the changing demands being placed on today's keepers, their importance to the game cannot be denied, which is why those legends who have gone before are so willing to share their knowledge with those to come.
Cricketers across the world are pretty generous with their time, right? It's a way of life in many ways, and so you'll find that young guys, if they are prepared to make an effort to present themselves to you, most guys from my experience are pretty happy to pass on some knowledge to them. And so I would just encourage them to go looking for it, right? If you ask the questions, you'll get the answers.
The noble art demonstrates the changes of wicket-keeping over the years and gives great insight into the attitudes and skills required to become a world-class wicket-keeper. A must for any cricket or indeed sports fan. The noble art is pure cricketing pleasure.